Well, it's time for a new video.
I think our fans have been missing us.
Yeah, probably. We have some new baking implements.
I found on Amazon.com this awesome cake decorating kit, which is basically a bunch of decorating tips and 2 reusable silicone piping bags and some disposable piping bags so that we can, like pipe stuff like on that British show about the baking.
We should do something complicated and perhaps even at the cutting edge or the cutting edge of our growth edge. How about that?
What about a pavlova?
What's a pavlova? Looks like we need some help.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dennis and I are going to be making a pavlova, and I know that everybody here in the States is thinking, "What's a pavlova?" Well, it's an Australian delicacy, and to help us out, we have Stephen Brooks, who is in Australia, and he's going to tell us what a pavlova is. So take it away, Stephen.
Oh, well, first of all, Steve, tell us where are you in Australia?
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm in Bendigo, in about 1.5 hours north of Melbourne, and that's Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, not Melbourne, Florida.
Melbourne, Victoria. Okay,
Great.
all right.
And Stephen, it's almost winter there, isn't it?
It sure is. Yes, we were down to about, I suppose, about 32 Fahrenheit last night.
Whoa!
Wow.
And we're just like barreling into summer here, so this is crazy.
Yeah.
The world is upside down, Jim.
I know it is.
And I live in the future because it's already 9 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
almost 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday.
that's
God.
crazy.
So is the future bright?
It's looking pretty good. Yeah, we're looking pretty good here.
Good. So, Stephen, can you tell us and the rest of our American audience what a pavlova is?
Well, a pavlova is a tribute to the Russian ballerina Anna Pavlova. She came to Australia and someone wanted to make a tribute to her, and they made this delectable dessert. It melts in your mouth, and it's like a mystery because it's hard on the outside and soft on the inside. It's a combination of fruit and sweetness and crispiness, all just thrown in together and comes out, and it's cooked. It's a miracle.
This makes no sense to me. You know what? Dennis and I have a friend who moved down to Brisbane probably about 20 years ago now, and I think maybe she could help translate. She's an American who lives in Australia, so we're gonna call Anne Pennsylvania into the.
Let's just ring her. Let's ring her and see if she's there. Hold on. Anne.
Hey, hello.
Anne, are you there? Anne.
Oh,
What?
I think we woke her up.
Oh shoot. Oh my God. Did we
What?
wake you up?
Hi guys.
Hi,
Sorry.
Anne, it's Jim Robinson. You and I were at the Raven Workshop together for a while.
Oh, wait a minute.
And
What?
I'm Dennis. Your daughter thinks I'm lovely. Hi.
Oh, hi guys. How you doing?
Hi.
Um,
Listen, sorry to drag you out of bed, but we're having a problem.
okay.
that It's sort of immediate, Jim.
yeah. So
Sure.
our friend Stephen Brooks, who lives in Indigo
Yeah.
in Victoria.
Victoria.
Yeah.
What's in Victoria?
Yeah. Well, he's trying to tell
That's a
us.
state. That's one of the states in Australia.
And because you're in Australia now. You're in Brisbane, which is in which state?
That's in Queensland.
Queensland. This is like a foreign tongue.
You're a part of the Commonwealth, then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we've settled that, Stephen's trying to tell us what a pavlova is, and we thought that since you have this sort of transnational experience, you could help us figure out what this is.
I mean, he's saying crazy things like crispiness and chewiness, and I'm not following.
Sure, I can help you out with that.
All right.
Is
So
he on the call?
yeah, Stephen,
yeah.
this is Anne.
Hi, Anne.
Ben.
Oh, hi, Stephen. Hang on, I'm going to
You know-
switch to gallery view so I can see you. Oh, hi.
Hi. Yeah. Look, I was
Hi.
trying to tell them, they're asking about a fair dinkum Australian dessert. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought there's nothing more ochre and really ridgy-didge than a pavlova.
What are we saying? Help.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're saying that this dessert that was named after a Russian ballerina is really authentically Australian. It's very authentic to the Australian cultural experience. That's what
Okay.
they're saying.
Ridgy-didge.
That's what, yeah. That means
what was the word
it's
again?
real. Ridgy Didge. Reggie Didge.
Okay. All right.
Well, So what I understand then is that we're going to be making sort of a meringue base, right?
Yeah, and you know, and it's
Yeah.
a combination. It uses vinegar as well, so it's like sweet and sour. It just and the mystery of when it comes out of the oven, you just and of course you've got to be careful. Don't leave that oven door open too long.
What, do you make a good pav, Stephen? Do you make
Sorry?
a decent pav?
I make a pretty good pav. Yep, I do. Yep, my pav gets a lot of compliments.
So, Stephen, I don't know if you know this phrase. It's my favorite Australian phrase, and in American English, we'd say like, "Let's get down to brass tacks," right? Because we've done a bit of faffing around, and so we're not here to fighters. Yeah, Stephen, you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right there
Yeah.
with you.
So let's get to it, mate.
Okay, so and it also turns out we're probably missing what is the critical fruit to have on a pavlova?
Passion fruit,
Passion fruit.
Yeah, we don't have those.
drizzled passion fruit, fresh.
Yeah.
Not from a can or anything.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Okay.
Slice it in half, squeeze it over.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do have some.
Make sure it's ripe,
Oh.
like
Yeah.
nice and wrinkled and brown, so it's ripe.
Well, that's not going to happen, but we do
No.
have some dried apricots.
Oh God.
Pass.
You know, we don't have a whole lot of more.
No, we don't
time
have a
on
lot
the
of time.
cloud,
We should
but-
probably, yeah.
But what I'd love is if we could each hear from each of you, and just either how you feel about the prospects of this particular pavlova, or if you have one more piece of advice that you would like to give us. And so I don't know, Stephen, do you want to go first?
Well, it's just, I'm honored, I'm privileged, I'm touched that you are embracing the Pav Fab, you know, and going with it, you know. So I look forward, I'm sure it'll be fine. Look, as I say, don't stress. Just go with it, mate. You'll be right. You'll be absolutely fine.
Anne, do you have any last bit of advice?
Hey, I reckon that it's a pretty good idea to just take it easy on this recipe. I love pav. I had it at my wedding actually. I had to make a pav and a mud cake. So you might try mud cake if you'd like as well. Not from Coles, it was a proper beautiful mud cake, and the pav was excellent. It's not something I would attempt, so I think you're pretty brave to do it. And I would say that my guess is going to be if you can just lighten up, just take it easy, and should be right. But it may turn out to be a dog's breakfast.
Maybe.
So we're going to follow Stephen Brooks' advice and go for the recipe in the middle. Now this one calls for 4 egg whites, a cup of castor sugar. I'm going to stop right there. What is castor sugar? Do you have to go to Australia for that? No, it's basically regular sugar that is super fine. So what I did is I took regular sugar, I cleaned out my coffee grinder, and then I basically beat regular sugar until it became super fine. Not quite as fine as confection sugar, but super fine. Anyway, so a cup of castor sugar, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of lemon juice, and the secret ingredient, as recommended by Stephen Brooks, a little bit of vinegar. So Jim's going to get us started by separating the eggs.
We want to thank Anne Pensilfini as well for helping us understand the Australian vernacular. Now, I'm going to be separating the egg yolk from the egg white. I've already dropped one of the eggs, but I've turned this mistake into a gift. I'm going to start with this particular egg. So like this. I'm going to crack it gently. Oops. There we go. And get that. How about that, huh? So it's time to beat the egg whites. Now I got 4 egg whites out of 5 eggs. We don't need to talk about that. But should we use this implement from Melinda Hughes or this from Lori Miller? We are wearing our aprons from Mary Beth Wadding. Which one, Dennis?
I'm going to recommend that we use this from Fran Curley.
Good idea. Now the recipe says that the egg whites should be beaten until they are glossy and softly peaked, which to me seem kind of subjective, but why not? Right?
Pretty good. At this point now, we take our superfine sugar and we add it 1 tablespoon at a time, basically until we've made meringue, until it's firm. So here we go.
Wish us luck.
Glossy peakiness has been achieved. Now we are supposed to sift the cornstarch over the top and then fold in the vanilla, lemon juice, and vinegar.
Vinegar? We're going to use vinegar. Is that in the recipe?
It's not, but that's what Stephen Brooks said to do.
I also want to say that the cream of tartar
Hmm.
was not in the recipe either, but
That's what I add to my meringue.
yeah.
Because I don't have all day.
Right, yeah. I mean, and I'm just learning, so I thought I would just break the rule before I understood it. Now I'm folding in the vanilla, the lemon juice, the vinegar, and the cornstarch.
Okay, so now we are putting our meringue into a piping bag. And is this anything any of us have ever done before, Jim?
I haven't.
I haven't. So we're not going to make you watch this whole experience, but just trust us when we say we're going to get it all in here and it's going to be a miracle. Now I have this totally mad idea that we should pipe this meringue, so that's what we're going to do. I drew an 8-inch circle on the parchment paper, and then I turned the parchment paper upside down. Thanks, Mom. This meringue is good. And I've never piped anything before, and I guess the trick here is to not let it come out of the top like that. Here, hold on. Get that back in the bowl. Oh, nope. Oh, this is really going well. Okay, so now let's just see what happens if I try to pipe a spiral of meringue. Oh my God, it's actually working. Jim, what do you think?
That's incredible.
Well,
Well,
it's not even. The Great British Baking Show would be humiliated, but
it's going to be covered with fruit. No.
it's totally gonna be. And there's more meringue, by the way, lest everyone look at this and think, oh God, they're running out of meringue. Nope.
I like that you said lest. I really want to thank Dennis Curley for being willing to do this, because so much of this baking process reminds me of when I would do yard work, or the rare occasion when I would do kind of woodworking with my father. And he was great, but he would say, James, go get the, and he wouldn't finish his sentence. And, I would think the poem, the feeling, and it was never right. And I've had a sort of a similar response with Dennis, and he's been so patient. So I want to thank him. He can hear me, but he's acting like he can't.
I'm trying to get the meringue in the piping bag.
Oh no. Dennis is editing this, and I'm realizing I did that whole thing with meringue on my lip. Hey, Omelet, you want to try some? No? All right.
Okay, so my original plan was to add a layer around the outside and then crenellated poofs, but that would involve changing the tip, and you know what we're not going to do? Change the tip. So let's just see how I do getting more like a ridge of meringue. I'm liking it so far.
Will you say crenellated poofs one more time, please?
Crenellated poofs.
Good Lord.
The whole idea, by the way, of doing it this way, and see it collapses inward a little bit, and that's okay, is you want to create a well in the middle that eventually the whipped cream and the fresh fruit will go. So we're trying to build up a bit of a sand castle of a pavlova here. I think it's going to work out. To all the people to whom I promised crenellated poofs, I apologize. They're not going to happen. This, I think, is going to be even better.
A meringue sandcastle with crenellated poofs.
Welcome to 2021.
Yeah.
Well, there are not to be crenellated poofs. I'm so sorry. But however, there's this. It's like a meringue, like an anthill or something, Jim, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it looks like my pottery project from 8th grade.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Great. So now it goes into the oven. It only cooks for about an hour, but it has to sit and cool in the oven for at least 2 hours. Something about meringue like falling. I don't know. We'll find out. Here we go. Ahmed, are you helping? Oh. There we go. See you soon.
Omelet. Omelet. Yeah, I know.
Turns out an hour is 60 minutes. Has nothing to do with the number one.
Well, time has passed. I'm about to make the heavy whipping cream. The meringue is out of the oven. Looks fine.
Bit of a gap there, but I think we're just going to stuff it with cream, right?
Pleistocene in a way. So we're gonna make this heavy whipping cream, and we're gonna add confectioner's sugar, and then we're gonna add the fruit and put it all in there and give it a whirl.
That bowl's been chilling.
Pour it in. All right.
Jim whipped some great whipping cream. It was fantastic. We've got this beautiful pavlova base. You may have noticed that there's some gaps, some gapping occurred here underneath. So using one of these beautiful utensils, thank you, Lori Miller, I am going to attempt to, I'm going to put the cream here. Watch this, look at this, without getting too rough. We are going to push the cream in underneath so as to fill the little air gaps. And then, magic of magic, we're going to top the whole thing with the whipped cream, and then we're going to make a beautiful fruit design. No previews, we're going to show you that in a second. All right, we're now decorating this pavlova, and I want to point out the Sydney Opera House that we decided to put right in the middle. Beautiful Sydney Opera House made of strawberries, and now we're doing some kiwi, some banana, we're going to do some blueberry, and of course, Stephen's favorite one, pomegranate. He didn't like that idea at all, not one bit.
I do not mean this as a criticism, not at all, but I wonder about a dessert that collapses under the weight of its own design. As Dennis has pointed out, there are some cracks in the meringue. And yet, when you think about it, it's the cracks where the light comes through, or something. Well, I don't know if the hairy knees and the beautiful pavlova complement one another, but take a look at this. Not bad. Not bad at all.
It's apparently so close to the 4th of July that the fireworks are going off in the neighborhood. That's fine.
Great.
Poor Eisenhower's going to run and hide now.
So, Dennis, you want to cut it?
I'm nervous, but sure. It's beautiful. Sydney Opera House, all sorts of good stuff. All right. Oh, gosh, I'm just going to go for it right here.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a crisp to that meringue. Wow. This is like food science, Jim Robinson.
Wow.
It feels chewy in the middle.
Is that good?
Well, Stephen Brooks said something about chewy. All right, let's see.
Okay.
Eisenhower, are you going to help? All right, do you think you can extract a piece like that? It didn't come out super clean, but that's okay. Who are we to judge? I mean, the crack is how the light gets in.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay, the second piece is always going to come out better, right?
Right.
Because look at that. There, look at that, Jim. I separated it for you. Oh, this meringue is nice. I'm really impressed. Okay, you got it?
How about that?
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, so now do we? If this were the Great British Baking Show, I'd turn it on its side and tap the meringue. But frankly,
We're not gonna do that.
No, I'm too nervous. Let's
You go first.
I'm gonna find a bite of meringue and cream, and let's get some berries on there. And here we go. It's like marshmallow goodness on the inside.
Here we go.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
Wow. Okay, that's not too bad. I think my third piece is going to be even better. Okay, I will say this. To the restaurant at Circular Quay in Sydney, we're not coming for you just yet, but
but you should feel our breath on the back of your neck.
Sounds terrible.
It does.
And Stephen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This thing is, it's a light, healthy dessert.
Ha! Thank you to Anna Pavlova, wherever you may be.
And to all of our Australian friends, we love you. Thank you so much.
Fair dinkum.
Fair dinkum.